Starting off with how hours after fresh Khalistani provocation at the Indian High Commission in the UK, Foreign Secretary James Cleverly has responded to the unacceptable acts of violence towards staff at the Indian High Commission in London. Cleverly said, I quote, "We will always take the security of the High Commission and all foreign missions in the UK extremely seriously and prevent and robustly respond to incidents such as this. The UK-India relationship, driven by the deep personal connections between our two countries, is thriving." And joining me now through this piece of breaking news is my senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, Britain finally, the UK finally responds to India's strong protest at the lack of protection, the lack of security, and the recent acts of, Khalistani provocation in the UK and the UK government's response towards them. If you could take our viewers through this breaking development.
Well, so breaking development is there is a very detailed statement that has come from Foreign Secretary James Cleverly. And Rukma, it's significant that this happens only after India responds at diplomatic level by issuing a demarche and by, downgrading the security arrangements around the British High Commission here in New Delhi. That's the unfortunate part, but thankfully now things are moving. So, for example, when the second round of protests by these Khalistani elements in London, that by itself is a story as to why this kind of crystallization of these anti-India sentiment has been allowed from the British soil. But having said that, when the second round of protests happened yesterday, there was a strong presence from the London Metropolitan Police, and those protesters were held back on the other side of the road, and no harm came to the High Commission premises. The kind of vandalism we saw 4 days back, at least, that did not happen. But now, Foreign Secretary James Cleverly, in a statement, saying that acts of violence towards the staff of the Indian High Commission in London are unacceptable, and I have made my position clear. He goes on to say that he's in touch with both the High Commissioner, Vikram Doraiswamy, in London, and of course, the government through the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi, and that they are working to make sure that whatever security changes are needed to make sure that Indian High Commission does not face the kind of attack and vandalism it faced a few days back does not happen again. So which means there is an element that suggests that the British side would take care of the security arrangements in a manner that, or they are upgraded. Again, as I said, it's unfortunate that it comes after India had to express its displeasure by downgrading the security arrangement around the British High Commission here in Delhi. And then, of course, Mr. Cleverly goes on to say that the UK-India relationship is driven by the deep personal connections between the two nations, and that there is a roadmap 2030 to guide our relationship. So that's a statement coming in from Foreign Secretary James Cleverly on the ongoing, effectively it's a crisis panning out between the UK-India relationship, Rukma, and it seems some damage control happening finally from the British side.
Right. Some damage control finally on the British side after that lackluster response earlier. India had to, take a number of steps in order to ensure that the UK government takes note. And joining me now is Nishant Sareen, foreign affairs expert. Nishant, a very good morning. When we talk, Sushant Sareen on the phone line. Sushant, many thanks for speaking with Republic TV. Your take on the UK government's response, it's a very detailed statement that has come from James Cleverly, and the United Kingdom now finally, can we hope that they will take some action and more serious note of this kind of regrouping that has sent alarm bells, can we say, across the globe?
Here for the UK High Commission. I think the Indian High Commission there has done very well by putting up an even larger flag than the one which was brought down by those louts who brought it down. And then, the worldwide response of Indians all over, has been extremely powerful. They've been very expressive about their outrage at the flag. And especially the Sikh community, their outspokenness in this matter has been outstanding. They have completely isolated these fringe elements and said that they are fringe elements. And not only that, they have said that they are funded by the ISI. So, yes, the reaction to the episode is very unfortunate, what took place in London, but the aftermath is very, very uplifting and encouraging.
So, well, as the Khalistani, like, it's a kind of the Khalistani being very violent nowadays. So, how do you see the kind of the violence they are doing to Khalistani?
See, they're not in any big numbers. So but it's necessary to nip it in the bud. It's necessary to stop this at the very outset, because you have to send out a very strong message that this kind of secessionism would not do. So all India can do, because this is happening mainly in some Commonwealth countries, Australia, Canada, UK, and in the outside the Commonwealth, the United States. One San Francisco incident happened. So it is up to those countries. India can only strongly protest and take some countermeasures like we've done in the case of the UK Commission. But those countries have to improve security and make it punishable. I mean, the people are desecrating our property. The embassy or the high commissions abroad are our property. It's our sovereign territory. Right? So they have a duty to protect it. And they must protect it. This half-hearted security will not do.